came from, money is a very sensitive topic. Not a lot of people talk about how much money are they making. But in data, you can move from job roles by just learning a few skills. So I did a full analysis on the job posts on LinkedIn to make sure that I was not losing my money over a different data job that it could actually make me move to the next direction. So this is my full analysis, and let me know which one surprised you the most. So before we get into the numbers, I just wanted to be transparent on how I got this data. So basically, I just saved all of the LinkedIn posts for job roles, specifically just for data. I scraped almost 400 job posts that were published between June 2026 and July 2026. So if you're watching this on a different time, the numbers could be a little bit different. So after I gathered all of these jobs, I just saved them, and I basically asked AI to scrape them for me and list the seniority, if it was remote, hybrid, on-site, where it was, like inside Europe, because I was looking only for European job roles. And of course, the part that I got really interested about is the salary range. So recently, Europe launched a law that it's basically mandatory to be transparent about the salary. So I wanted also to check if that was also true. Keep in mind that some of the countries, especially my own, are still kind of moving towards this transparency salary. So there wasn't a lot of information on the salary or on what I've seen, or not all of the jobs that I've seen were very transparent about the salary. They keep posting like the ranges, but still it's worthwhile to analyze the ones that do and make a list of how much money you can make for each data role. So let's start with the shape of the market before we get to the money, and I will get there really fast, I promise. So over the 394 jobs, most common role by far is kind of data analyst. Pretty much half of it is data analyst roles, which kind of makes sense. And the widest entry point into the field and companies need kind of a lot of them. Second is data engineer, 63 roles that I've analyzed. Then analytics engineer, 37 roles. A role that barely kind of existed 5 years ago, and now it's kind of a distinct career path, sitting between the data engineering and the analytics. Then kind of the data science and ML AI roles combined come to 33. That's actually fewer than I expected. I thought that data scientists were booming, but then again, yeah, the last few years I haven't seen a lot of posts for data scientists. So kind of there's a lot of AI hype, but on the actual job markets, companies are hiring far more people to work with data than to build models from scratch. Then it comes BI developers and engineers, 25 roles. Also data governance and quality, 21 roles. That last category is interesting. Companies scale their data infrastructure, they're realizing they need someone to kind of govern it. So that role is becoming its own specialization. Now the seniority split is striking. 37 of all jobs require senior level experience, not senior preferred or senior required. Based on the title and description signals, like the majority, about 62% are mid-level. I found almost no junior roles and only kind of a handful at principal or staff level, which is kind of expected. Basically what this tells you is that the market is not friendly to people that are just entering, at least in Europe, but mid-level is wide and the jump to senior is where the real salary cliff is. We'll get to that. So where are those jobs kind of located? Like I mentioned, I did this scrapping for Europe. So like if you're in Portugal like me, there's kind of a mental model that you have to relocate to earn well. And I want to challenge that because I live in Portugal and I think I have a really good salary basis. So over all of the jobs that I saved, 41 were explicitly Portugal based. Most of these jobs that are making good salaries are mostly remote and are working for broader companies from other countries. So that's companies like Swarth Health, Talkdesk, Farfetch, Volkswagen Group, Digital Solutions, KCS, IT, Noesi, Cellfocus, kind of a genuine mix of international tech companies with engineering hubs in Porto and Lisbon, and local consultancies. So Netherlands had 33 roles, with Amsterdam and Rotterdam showing up for analytics engineers, BI developers, and data engineers at some very serious companies. Belgium had 36 roles, Brussels and Antwerp, lots of consultancy flavors roles and strong analytics engineering presence. Luxembourg had 7 roles, and it's worth flagging separately. Luxembourg lacked salaries run significantly higher than Belgium or Portugal, which is expected because of the cost of living. If you see a data consultant role in Luxembourg, the number behind it is usually much larger than the same title in Porto. Another thing that surprised me is that when COVID hit, basically a lot of companies were moving to remote, and I could find a lot of remote works to work in Portugal, but for other countries. And right now, like the remote are sizing down, and they're offering 2 types, like the hybrid and the on-site, which was surprising why companies are moving more and more to this type of working scenarios and completely removing the remote case. Now the numbers that you came for. Let's go bottom to top. I'll scrape from job descriptions. First we have the data business analyst. Is entry to mid people, so you can get from 14k to 24k a year. Then you have the data analyst or BI specialist. This is more of a mid. And you can get from 46k to 66k a year. Then you have the senior data engineer that goes from 47k to 74k a year. Then you have the senior ML engineer from 60k to 80k a year. And then a senior data engineer, you can get from the 70k to 85k. And then if you're wanting for kind of a lead or staff position, you can go from 95k to 140k a year. So what do I actually take from all of this? First, the analytics engineer role is real and it's rising. Like I saved 37 of them, born data scientists or ML engineers combined, is sitting at the intersection of data engineering and analytics. It's DBT heavy and it's high demand, particularly in Belgium and the Netherlands. If you're a data analyst who's been wanting to move closer to the engineering side, this is a bridge role and it pays meaningfully more than a pure analyst job. Second, the seniority premium is real. The gap between mid-level and senior in the market is not incremental, it's structural. A senior analyst in Portugal at a good company can earn close to double what a junior analyst earns, not because they're twice as smart, but because companies are paying for certainty. They're paying for someone who doesn't need hand holding. Third, specialization compounds. The highest salaries I found, even from context signals alone, consistently belong to roles with a clear specialization. not just data engineer, but senior streaming data engineer or ML engineer with production experience. Kind of the market rewards specificity. Then generalists get hired, specialists get paid. So kind of now, just to give you the lists of the most in-demand skills, probably you already know, but pretty much all of them ask for SQL, then Python, then some sort of cloud specialization like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. Then it goes to machine learning / AI. Spark and PySpark were also requested a lot. dbt, Power BI, Tableau, and Looker. Kafka and streaming, Docker and Kubernetes, Airflow, orchestration, statistics and modeling, data governance and quality. So if you already have SQL and Python and any source of cloud, I would say that it's very easy to move forward to a new position that will pay you more. And that's pretty much what the market is telling. It was telling this years ago, but it's still relevant to this day to learn those skills. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Let me know what interested you more, and if you're thinking of moving towards a different career. I'm definitely going to keep looking to see what makes sense for me the next few years to learn. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.